Good evening, televiewers. Welcome to Sunday's edition of Bilingual Newscast on My Media Prime Television. It is coming to you live from Douala, and for presentation, my name is Macdella Eyong, and with me in the studio is Gwladys Bomotonguina for the French Newscast. Good evening, Gwladys.
Bonsoir Macdella Eyong, bonsoir mesdames, messieurs. Bienvenue à votre journal bilingue sur les antennes de My Media Prime Télévision. La première partie de ce journal est en langue anglaise.
We begin with this striking story which is making news. Ici Princess, Miss Littoral, has been crowned Miss Cameroon 2023. She was crowned by the First Lady Chantal Biya during Saturday's November 12 Miss Cameroon competition, which took place in Yaoundé, Central Region of Cameroon. She was followed by Mukete Mona Lisa, Miss Southwest, and her second runner-up, Ngwele Raisa, Miss West Region. Farmers of cocoa and coffee sector in Melong, Mongo division of Cameroon's littoral region have benefited from some farm inputs to help scale up production. The gesture is an initiative of the Copper Fellows Cooperative in Melong. Eileen Sama completes the story.
It is thanks to Operation Producers Counter that more than 500 farmers in Melong, Mungo division of the littoral region benefited from the donation of agricultural input geared at boosting their cocoa and coffee production. Worth mentioning is the fact that Mungo division was once the hub of cocoa and coffee production in the country, which had contributed enormously to the development of Cameroon. Thus, with the objective of raising this agricultural sector, whose yields are increasingly low, Operation Producers Counter came to the rescue at the esplanade of the Copper Fellows Cooperative on Saturday, November 12, 2022 in Melong.
We have been looking for a means of helping the farmers. When we heard that the FORDEC project is to be launched in Melong, together we knew how Madam Senator, Madam Rebecca, is also working hard to see that the farmers they improve on their standard of living. So when we got it, we said no, this is the right time for farmers in Cameroon, especially in Melong in particular, to actually increase their coffee and their cocoa production, because when they increase it, Cameroon will be better than what it is now.
Note that these agricultural producers from 54 villages in Melong and the West region came to voice their needs for farm inputs like pesticides, among others. However, many shortcomings were observed throughout the distribution exercise, but the joy was quite immense.
Because quite a long time, coffee in the Mungo division signified nothing. Many farmers abandoned their farms in the bush because they couldn't survive with this coffee farming. As from now that the farmers are satisfied, they are going with a high and a good idea. I hope everything will go on very well, and the Mungo will take on this usual position in production of coffee.
Nonetheless, a warning note was given to some agricultural heads who are unjust to these cocoa and coffee producers in the division, while all fingers remain crossed for the next harvest season with high expectations of a satisfactory output in the Mungo.
Many thanks to you, Eileen Sama, for compiling that report. Some bike riders in Bamenda on a pilgrimage to the Holy Shrine of Abango Quarter have, in a thanksgiving, appealed to their fellow colleagues to be conscious of their jobs and treat everyone they come across with love. Charles Kebua followed these bike riders and compiled the following report.
The pilgrimage to the Holy Shrine at Abango Quarters, Bamenda, November 12, 2022, by bike riders in Mezam Division of the Northwest Region, coordinated by Reverend Father Ignatius, Parish Priest of Regional Patriarch Ndamukong. The bike riders thank the Archbishop of Bamenda for always being by them as they pray for peace to return to the Northwest and Southwest regions of the country. Said they are bent to follow the rules of religion.
People will like God because we have been tagged so many kinds of names in our society. They treat us badly. They make me look us as if this like unemployed people, like bad people. So we want to prove them that no, we are God-loving people, and we follow the rules and regulations of religion.
Using the day of prayer and recollection, the Okada riders in Mezam used Samba group They Belong in thanksgiving. Worship God Almighty, appeal to those still lacking behind to be conscious of the Creator as they do their work daily, and to treat all with peace, love, and follow humanity principles.
I plead to all the bike riders that they should all give their lives to God, that they should all go to church, that they should all follow humanistic principles, because church is for peace. If we want this crisis to return into normalcy, we must go to church.
The pilgrimage worship by the Okada riders in Mezam was also another way of increasing the faith and spiritual life of the bike riders.
Nouveaux conseillers spéciaux nommés par décret présidentiel, la cérémonie de leur installation a eu lieu au service du Premier ministère. Leur rôle est d'accompagner le Premier ministre, chef du gouvernement, chef Dr Joseph Djongote, dans l'accomplissement des politiques gouvernementales. Marie-Rosine Gandouga dans ce reportage.
Sont à compter de la date de signature du présent décret, nommés conseillers spéciaux au secrétariat général des services du Premier ministre.
Ils sont 5 au total, nommés par décret présidentiel, qui siégeront désormais aux côtés du Premier ministre chef du gouvernement, Chief Joseph Djongote, pour veiller à la mise en application des décisions prises par le chef de l'État.
Je voudrais à présent esquisser quelques règles de respect de la hiérarchie, de la discrétion professionnelle. La nécessité de placer l'intérêt général au centre de toutes vos initiatives étant entendu qu'il s'agit d'un trait caractéristique de l'État ainsi que d'un excellent habit dans le processus de consolidation de la démocratie que promeut le président de la République.
Parmi ces nouveaux conseillers figure l'unique femme de la partie, Aïssa Fadadjish, qui sort des contrées lointaines pour se hisser très haut.
Cette fleur que le chef de l'État me fait aujourd'hui va au-delà de ma modeste personne et couvre toute la région dont je suis originaire, notamment la région de l'extrême nord.
Pour le docteur Tang Ahanda, c'est le fruit d'un dur labeur, mais surtout la clémence du président de la République.
Vous savez, c'est un parcours professionnel, peut-être pas banal, mais certainement ordinaire. J'ai commencé mes classes au ministère de l'économie, puis je suis allé au ministère des Travaux publics, où j'ai été directeur de la planification, directeur de la coopération, puis inspecteur général pendant ces 5 dernières années.
Quant au professeur Kosmastika, c'est toujours un honneur d'être appelé à servir.
Je suis honoré par ces gestes, cette décision du chef de l'État manifestée à mon endroit, et je ne peux que dire merci.
Également parmi ses conseillers, la diaspora. Au terme de cette cérémonie d'installation, Chief Joseph Djongote, après avoir souhaité la bienvenue à ses nouveaux collaborateurs, leur a recommandé de travailler en parfaite harmonie afin de mieux implémenter la politique du chef de l'État dans les domaines sécuritaires et socio-économiques pour améliorer les conditions de vie des Camerounais.
En économie, les nouveaux billets de francs CFA pour les pays de la zone CEMAC seront disponibles à partir du 15 décembre 2022. Une information rendue publique récemment. Cette gamme est donc baptisée 2020. Liliane Fogwen pour le compte rendu.
Longtemps attendue, la nouvelle gamme de billets baptisée gamme 2020 va enfin voir le jour. L'annonce a été faite le 7 novembre dernier par l'Union monétaire de l'Afrique centrale, réunis par visioconférence. La gamme 2020 sera mise en circulation le 15 décembre prochain dans l'ensemble des pays de la zone CEMAC, ceci durant une vingtaine d'années. L'innovation majeure de cette année, toutes les langues officielles en vigueur dans la sous-région seront visibles sur les nouvelles coupures qui incluent 10 000, 5 000, 2 000, 1 000 et 500 francs CFA. Il s'agit notamment du français, de l'anglais, de l'arabe au Tchad et de l'espagnol en Guinée équatoriale. Le MAC annonce le retrait des billets de la gamme de 1992 à compter du 1er mars 2023 et ce jusqu'au 1er mai 2023. Ces billets seront échangeables au guichet des banques commerciales et à ceux de la BEAC. Les 10 billets seront ensuite échangés exclusivement au guichet de la Banque centrale du 1er juin 2023 au 31 mai 2024. Et enfin, à partir du 1er juin 2024, ces échanges vont s'arrêter. Il a donc fallu 24 ans plus tard pour que le projet d'injection d'une nouvelle gamme de billets et pièces prenne corps au Cameroun, au Gabon, au Congo, en République centrafricaine et en Guinée équatoriale.
En fait divers, déviance en milieu scolaire, une vingtaine d'élèves du lycée classique et moderne de Saint-Méliman ont été surpris en pleine partouze vendredi dernier dans une maison privée hors des établissements scolaires. Les gémissements ont attiré l'attention des voisins qui essayaient en vain de trouver le sommeil. Images choquantes d'élèves ont tenu d'Adam, verre de whisky en main, préservatifs, lubrifiants, bref tout l'arsenal au complet. Le quartier mis en alerte. Ces acteurs de scènes érotiques vont donc prendre la fuite, laissant leurs sous-vêtements.
Christians of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon PCC have celebrated their 65th anniversary under the theme Be on Your Guard. Here in Douala, Staff Lady Dolly Ngonde Eswe witnessed the celebration at the Presbyterian Church Bonaberry, also known as the Mother of the Church on this part of the country, and now recounts.
Be on your guard. This is the theme for the 65th anniversary of the Presbyterian Church in Cameroon, as Christians on this day have converged at their respective congregations nationwide and abroad to give this event the grandeur it deserves. Here at PC Bonaberry Douala, the church's anthem is sung in honor of all fallen martyrs of faith, including the early missionaries who laid the foundation of the church. At 65, representatives of the Basel mission from Germany, from where the PCC was born, are here to celebrate with the church while considering worship system stars.
Today I visited the Sunday school here in Douala, in Bonaberry, and I was very impressed about 1,500 children who sing together, and that was so amazing.
Meanwhile, Reverend Mary Wose, as parish pastor of PC Bonaberry, has urged the faithfuls on this day to be practical evangelists, which she has termed the main mission of the church.
In 1957, the church became an independent body from the missionaries, the Basel mission in particular. And so, celebrating this day is also recounting our success stories. We should all go out and preach the word of God. And while preaching the word of God, we should be on our guard. Because there are many people who will want to impose other teachings on us. And we need to be aware. Like Christians of the Presbyterian Church in 65 years, they must be those Christians who are well grounded in the gospel.
However, at 65, many have asked what is the PCC priding itself for after her independence from the Basel mission. Dr. George Assam is the congregational chairperson of PC Bonaberry, who has answers to these questions.
To the level of post-secondary education, we are going into creating a Christian university, and we are going into referral hospitals. We have a specialist. In fact, this made it known, should be known to the whole public. The Presbyterian Church has the best eye department in Central Africa. I'm speaking as a health professional myself.
Yes, it is 65, but many who witnessed the planting of the early church, as Ntumfo Nico Hale, a barrister at law and a Christian at PC Bonaberry Douala, 65, he says, is a time for retrospection.
This is the moment at 65 to ask yourself what you have done to God's glory and honor. What you have done to put smiles on people's faces.
what you have done to turn things around in a turbulent world.
Characterized with a melange of activities including singing, dancing, parading by the young Presbyterians, others like Ivo Ikome have also been recognized for their outstanding performances in the church.
I should say all glory to God. All glory to God. I was not expecting actually. It is always good to serve God in truth, in faith. So when we do this, it is all in honor of God. I am happy it's true that I dedicated most especially to God and I think we are all happy to do it.
A day full of joy and happiness has also ended in wining and dining, all to the glory of God, as the PCC keeps moving on despite all odds.
Dolly Ngonde on that report. Every 13 seconds, someone dies from pneumonia around the world, which has become the #1 infectious killer disease for adults and toddlers. Celebrating World Pneumonia Day this year under the theme Championing the Fight to Stop Pneumonia, health experts say the chronic pulmonary disease can be treated if diagnosed properly. Bokengo Worthy with details in this report.
Accounting for an estimated 450 million new cases yearly, pneumonia is the fourth leading cause of death for all age groups worldwide.
Pneumonia is an infection of one or both of the lungs that is caused by a bacteria, a virus, or a fungi. Now, this is going to result in inflammation of the alveoli, which are air sacs in the lungs, and these air sacs are going to be filled with fluids or pus, resulting in breathing difficulties.
Being a contagious lower respiratory tract infection and bearing many different causes, including poor lifestyle choices such as smoking, the pulmonary disease is characterized by different types.
The types of pneumonia are hospital-acquired pneumonia, which is gotten after staying in the hospital. Community-acquired pneumonia we get from our neighborhood. We have ventilator-associated pneumonia, which is gotten after being under a ventilator. And then we have an aspiration pneumonia that is gotten when us taking in food or a fluid and then it accidentally gets into the respiratory tract.
With sufferers experiencing fatigue, shortness of breath, shallow breathing, fever, chills, chest pain, loss of appetite, dehydration, excess sweating, sore throat, running nose, headache, blood in sputum, and more, the disease, when properly diagnosed, can be well treated as stated by the midwife.
The treatment of pneumonia would depend on the cause of pneumonia. If it is caused by a bacteria, then you might be given oral antibiotic or intravenous antibiotics, that is antibiotic injections. And the severity of the case, so you might be placed on oxygen and respiratory therapy in order to improve on your breathing. You also at home can take over-the-counter medication.
In commemoration of World Pneumonia Day, experts say warm baths, getting enough sleep, palliative care, medications, vaccination, good lifestyle choices, eating healthy, quit smoking, proper hand and overall hygiene, physical activities together with regular checkup at the hospital are ways to help combat the disease as well as reduce the 1 million deaths borne by pneumonia yearly.
En sport, Michael Ngandou appelle les Camerounais à soutenir les 26 lions indomptables sélectionnés pour la Coupe du Monde de Qatar 2022. Ceci intervient après les débats sur sa non-sélection. Liliane Fougon.
La non-sélection du défenseur international camerounais a créé un remue-ménage au sein du corps social. Michael Ngandou a été jugé irrecevable parmi les 26 joueurs retenus par le sélectionneur camerounais Rico Berson qui disputeront la Coupe du Monde Qatar 2022. Plusieurs Camerounais se sont indignés et ont réclamé une explication à cette absence. Une pétition a d'ailleurs été lancée pour rappeler le lion indomptable dans la tanière, qui, selon eux, a contribué à la qualification des Lions indomptables à ce mondial. Cette indignation ne s'est pas limitée uniquement chez les supporters de Michael. La décision avait aussi choqué l'agent du défenseur de la Gantoise. Pedro David Jiménez s'est exprimé au micro de World Foot, disant que le sélectionneur Rico Besson et son staff sont des marionnettes de Samuel Eto'o-Fils. Une déclaration qui a fait du grand bruit sur les réseaux sociaux. Pour calmer les tensions et stopper toute spéculation, Michael Ngandou est sorti de son silence. Ce dernier appelle les uns et les autres à soutenir les 26 retenus pendant cette compétition. Il a aussi rappelé le rôle de chacun et qu'ensemble, il faut rêver afin de hisser le drapeau du Cameroun au plus haut. Rappelons que les Lions indomptables sont à Abu Dhabi, à Dubaï, depuis quelques jours. Ils affronteront demain lundi le Panama en match amical avant de se rendre au Qatar pour la compétition qui débutera le 18 novembre prochain.
En Égypte, un accident de minibus fait 20 morts. Au Soudan, les populations manifestent contre l'ONU à Khartoum. L'actualité africaine, Quentin Itapé.
20 morts et 8 blessés ont été enregistrés hier samedi en Égypte à l'issue d'un accident de minibus. Lequel minibus est tombé dans un canal dans le village d'Al-Deri, près de la ville Mansoura, dans le delta du Nil au nord du pays. Dans un communiqué pondu après l'incident, le parquet accuse le chauffeur d'avoir téléphoné au volant. Surpris par une voiture qui venait en face, ce dernier allait trop vite qu'il n'a pas pu l'esquiver. Selon les premières analyses faites après son arrestation, il était sous l'emprise des stupéfiants. Fortement amoché, le minibus a été sorti de l'eau. Manifestation au Soudan, des milliers de citoyens sont descendus devant le siège des Nations Unies à Khartoum hier pour exprimer leur colère contre l'ONU, dont ils protestent la médiation entre les dirigeants civils et militaires du pays. Nous allons sortir dans toutes les rues, pour toutes les places, tous les jours, dans toutes les villes, dans toutes les rues, pour protéger ce pays, préserver son unité et sa sécurité. Non aux collaborateurs. Voici la deuxième fois en 2 semaines que les Soudanais font entendre leur voix pour contester les ingérences internationales et appellent au départ de l'Organisation des Nations Unies. En Éthiopie, le gouvernement fédéral et les rebelles du Tigré sont enfin tombés d'accord pour le cessez-le-feu. Ils ont signé un accord de paix samedi passé à Nairobi pour faire taire les armes. Nous voulons exprimer notre engagement total afin d'adopter la paix et la stabilité à notre peuple et à notre pays. Par conséquent, nous consacrerons pleinement nos services à la mise en œuvre de l'accord de Pretoria et de cette déclaration. À cette fin, nous souhaitons affirmer notre plein engagement envers le peuple éthiopien, envers ce panel et envers le monde. Cet accord, en plus de l'accès humanitaire au Tigré, stipule également que le désarmement sera effectif au même moment que le retrait des forces étrangères et non militaires du Tigré.
Let's now take you to the southwest region of the country, where our reporter Emmanuel C. takes us through a beach cleanup campaign organized by the Association for Community Awareness.
The 7th time this year, the Association of Community Awareness, ASCOA, has organized beach cleanups in the southwest region, especially the Limbe-Dinao coastline. The recent was organized at the weekend, November 12, 2022, at the end of a workshop to trained environmental journalists around the nation on addressing marine debris and plastic pollution through advocacy and education for sustainable ocean and coastline. An exercise that involves speaking, sorting and recording. Linus Eyong, CEO and founder of ASCOA, explains why it is done this way.
It's a little bit different. I can say in the southwest, ASCOA started this initiative for sorting of waste, documentation of the waste, so that we can provide this information to the government when it comes to policy making. And also we send this data to the international community so that they can know what is coming out from our beach. I think before we talk about the solution, we need to know what is on the ground. That is why we do sorting. We make sure that all the plastic lids, the plastic bottles, we count them, we document everything.
A work that has brought together over 400 volunteers, including students. They are bent on saving the environment.
Because we have identified plastic as a major problem in our society. As you can see, our beach is now clean. As you can see, we have students and people enjoying the beach because it is clean. They are playing football matches. And the fishes in the oceans was well happy because we have picked out the little plastics which have caused a lot of havoc to them.
The journalists who witnessed these cleanup exercises were urged to go educate the public on their reports on the need to save the oceans and hence keep our beaches clean.
You're welcome to the Limbe beach site here in Down Beach. We are right here to save the ocean by ASCOA because together they save lives.
Thank you, Emanuela C, for that beautiful report. And now to talk sports. Cameroonian defender Michael Ngadui, who was left out of the 26-man squad chosen by head coach Rigobert Song Bahanak for the 2022 FIFA World Cup upcoming, has penned down a heart-melting message of encouragement to his teammates chosen to defend the colors of the nation despite not being among. On the other hand, Choupo-Moting has not stopped scoring at club. These stories and more will be yours in this report. Cameroon's defense marksman Michael Ngadui has extended a heartwarming message to his teammates ahead of the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, though is disheartened by the fact that Rigobert Song Bahanak's decision to leave him out of Cameroon's squad for the World Cup has left him failing to achieve a lifelong dream. The Gent defender, who has been a regular with Cameroon in the past 5 years, had big plans for the tournament and had even done an interview before the squad was released, stating the players will do everything to have an honorable tournament. Unfortunately, the coach's decision means Ngande will not add to his 54 caps and 5 goals for Cameroon in Qatar when the tournament on the way next weekend. Ngande, who was also left out of the September friendlies, posted a statement on Saturday expressing his support for his teammates and challenges them to aim high. However, Song believes Jean-Charles Castelletto, Nicolas Nkulu and Christopher Wu can do the job as centre-backs. In the meantime, ahead of the World Cup, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting is still on fire at club Bayern Munich. The Cameroon striker scored his 11th goal in the past 15 games in a 2-0 win yesterday against Schalke. Choupo counts 6 goals in 10 Bundesliga games this season and 11 goals in 15 games overall. And in rugby, the Cameroon women's national team outsmarted Burkina Faso by 52-0 in match day 3 of the Rugby African Women's Cup yesterday at the Olympia Next Stadium in Yaoundé. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it for this weekend's edition of the Bilingual Newscast on My Media Prime Television. Thank you very much for staying glued to your TV screens, and do not forget to keep the rendezvous for next weekend. This edition of the news was supervised by Editor-in-Chief Faith Tata and produced by Tebong Christain. For presentation, I was Macdella, Eyong and Gwladys Bomotonguina. Good evening, Gwladys.
Bonsoir à toi, Macdella, Eyong. C'est la fin de ce bulletin en langue bilingue sur My Media Prime Television. Mesdames, Messieurs, merci à vous de nous avoir suivis.